Good morning, students. In the last class, I told you that the cell has three main parts, that is, first, plasma membrane or cell membrane, second, nucleus, and third, cytoplasm. So, I have completed the cell membrane and nucleus in the previous classes, and today I am going to explain you about the cytoplasm in the page number 62. And before we start this topic, based on the organization of their cellular structures, all living cells can be divided into two groups, that are prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. So what is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell? Coming to first, prokaryotic cell. In some unicellular organisms like bacteria, they do not have nucleus and nuclear membrane, and they contain nucleic acids, that is DNA and RNA. You will not find the nucleus in prokaryotic cells. In place of nucleus only you will find nucleic acids, and this nucleic acids you can call it as nucleoid. So prokaryotic cell means the cell which doesn't have nucleus and which doesn't have nuclear membrane, and some of the cell organelles are absent. And coming to eukaryotic cell, what are eukaryotic cells? The cells which have a nucleus covered with nuclear membrane and cell organelles which are membrane bounded, means which are covered with a specialized membrane. These cells are called as eukaryotic cells. Example for eukaryotic cells: humans, plants, animals, etc. So this is the difference between a prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So prokaryotic cell examples are bacteria, and eukaryotic cell examples are human, plants, animals, etc. And coming to the main topic, that is cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a jelly-like fluid present between the cell membrane and nucleus. You can see very clearly in the diagram, it is a jelly-like fluid present between the cell membrane and between the nucleus, and it also contains many specialized cell organelles in it. Each of these organelles perform a special function for the cell. So what are cell organelles? Cell organelles are the small structures present in the cytoplasm. So in the cytoplasm you are going to find all the cell organelles, and each cell organelle will have a specific function. In this chapter you are going to learn about the 6 cell organelles which are present in the cytoplasm. And the first cell organelle is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a large network of membrane bound tubes which are helpful in transportation of various substances. And endoplasmic reticulum is of two types. First, rough endoplasmic reticulum. It looks rough under a microscope because it has some particles on them called ribosomes. So what is the function of ribosomes? They are helpful in synthesizing proteins. So that's why we will call it as rough endoplasmic reticulum. means they contain some dotted structures called ribosomes on them. That is the reason we will call it as rough endoplasmic reticulum. And second type, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. These doesn't have ribosomes on their surface, so we will call them as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. You can see in the picture it is very clear. So the smooth endoplasmic reticulum doesn't contain any dot-like structures, so they are called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And what is their function in the cell? They are helpful in synthesizing fats and lipids. Okay, and what is membrane biogenesis? Membrane biogenesis means the proteins and lipids. Proteins and lipids are nutrients. Okay, proteins and lipids are helpful in building the cell membrane or repairing the cell membrane. This process is called membrane biogenesis. I am repeating again, the proteins and lipids are helpful in building up the cell membrane or repairing the cell membrane. This phenomenon is called as membrane biogenesis. And what is the function of endoplasmic reticulum in the cell? What it is doing? The endoplasmic reticulum is helpful in carrying out various biochemical activities of the cell. That is the function of endoplasmic reticulum. And the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it plays an important role in detoxifying. Detoxifying means removing many poisons and drugs. This is about the first cell organelle in the cytoplasm, that is endoplasmic reticulum. And coming to the second cell organelle in the cytoplasm, that is Golgi bodies, or you can call it as Golgi apparatus. It was for the first time described by Camillo Golgi. That's why we will call it as Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. It consists of system of membrane bound vesicles arranged parallel to each other. In the diagram you can see those are the membrane bound vesicles which are arranged parallel to each other, and you will call them as cisterns. And Golgi bodies are helpful in storage, modification and packaging of various products in the cell. And in some cases, complex sugars may be made from simple sugars. That is one more function. And along with that, Golgi bodies are helpful in the formation of lysosomes. Lysosome is also one of the cell organelle. So Golgi bodies are helpful in the formation of the lysosomes also. So this is regarding Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. And I am repeating, what are the main functions of Golgi bodies means the Golgi bodies are helpful in storage, modification, packaging of products, and it is helpful in converting complex sugars to simple sugars. And next, and even they are helpful in the formation of lysosomes. This is about Golgi bodies. And coming to the third cell organelle, that is lysosomes. So what are these lysosomes? Lysosomes are membrane bound sacs filled with digestive enzymes. Means inside the lysosomes you will find powerful digestive enzymes are present. So what is the use of this lysosome and what it is doing in the cell? Means lysosomes are a kind of waste disposal system of a cell. It means they keep the cell clean by digesting the foreign materials which enters the cell, such as bacteria, old cell organelles. They will end up in the lysosome. And the lysosomes contain powerful digestive enzymes in them so that they will break them into simpler form. And if the cell gets disturbed, the lysosomes will burst and the digestive enzymes will come out and they will engulf. Engulf means intake. They will engulf their own cell. That's why the lysosomes are called as the suicidal bags of a cell. This is about the lysosomes. And coming to the fourth cell organelle, that is mitochondria. Mitochondria are known as the powerhouses of the cell, and it is made of two membranes. Outer membrane is porous, it means it have tiny holes, and inner membrane is deeply folded, it have several foldings. And energy is stored in the mitochondria in the form of ATP. It means adenosine triphosphate. And when our body needs energy, ATP molecule is broken down and energy is produced. That is the reason why mitochondria is called as the powerhouse of the cell. So when our body needs energy, the ATP which is stored in the mitochondria will be broken down and releases the energy out. So called powerhouse of the cell. And one more interesting point about mitochondria is it has its own DNA and ribosomes. So this is about mitochondria. And coming to the fifth cell organelle, that are plastids. Plastids are present only in plant cells. You will not find the plastids in animal cells. These are found only in the plant cells. And there are two types of plastids. In that first we have chromoplast and second leucoplast. So what are chromoplasts? Chromoplasts are colored plastids which gives color to the different parts of the plant. When you will see the plants, they have different colors. So who give the color to the plants? That is because of chromoplast. They have different colored pigments in them. Because of the different colored pigments, the plants will have different colors. Example, chloroplast is one of the cell organelle which contains chlorophyll pigment in it. As we know that plants are green in color, majority of the plants. So if anyone questions you why the plants are green in color, means mostly the plants contain chloroplast, and this chloroplast has chlorophyll pigment in it by which the plant gets green color. And even this chlorophyll is also helpful in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, and coming to second one, leucoplast. These are colorless plastids. So what is their function? They are helpful in storing starch, oil and protein granules. That is about leucoplast. And even the plastids also have their own DNA and ribosomes like mitochondria. Only the mitochondria and plastids, these both will have their own DNA and ribosomes. And next, coming to the last cell organelle, vacuoles. These are storage sacs for solid and liquid materials, and vacuoles are very large in plant cells and are small or absent in animal cells. Why? What is the reason why the vacuoles are very big in plant cells and why they are very small or absent in our cells? Means the plants cannot move from one place to another, so that the vacuoles are very large in which they will store the various substances. And in the plant cell, the vacuole occupies 50 to 90% of space in the cell. Means the majority of the space in the cell is occupied by the vacuole only. And what is the function of vacuoles? They provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. And some important substances like amino acids, sugar, organic acid and proteins are stored in the vacuole itself. Even in single cell organisms like amoeba also have the vacuole to remove excess water and waste from the cell. And coming to the last topic in the chapter, cell division. So what is cell division? The process by which new cells are made is called cell division. There are two main types of cell divisions. In that first, that is mitosis, and second, meiosis. So what is mitosis and meiosis? Coming to first, mitosis. Each cell called mother cell divides to form two identical daughter cells which have same number of chromosomes is called mitosis. All our cells in our body will undergo mitotic cell division only, except the reproductive cells. Only the reproductive cells will not undergo mitosis. Other than that, all the cells in our body, now time to time, continuously they will undergo the cell division process, except the gametes. Only the gametes, the reproductive cells, will undergo meiosis. So what is meiosis? The reproductive cells, the male reproductive cell is sperm and the female reproductive cell is egg or ovum. They will undergo meiosis by dividing a reproductive cell into 4 new cells, which will have only half of the chromosomes. Okay, so the meiosis process will take place only in the reproductive cells, and you will have a detailed explanation regarding these topics, mitosis and meiosis, in the 10th standard. Okay, with this the chapter is completed, and if you have any doubts regarding any topics, feel free to ask the doubts. Don't hesitate to ask the doubts. Don't compromise regarding the subject. Okay.